Let me see. Next guest, he's already lined up. He's waiting. We answered the phone by accident. Let's get my homie on the line, the one and only, Mr. Rob Carlyle from the Compulsions. What's going on there, buddy?
How you doing, Bay?
Good, man. How you been?
I'm good. Keeping busy as usual.
Dude, you're like always going. Like you were like low profile for a little while, laying low, and now you've been like turning it up.
It looked like I was low profile, but I was actually pretty busy behind the scenes. I just couldn't really say anything because I was just working on stuff, and I didn't want to say anything until it was, a little more underway. But yeah, there was a few months there when I was pretty quiet about the Compulsions.
Well, you know what, and that's something you should not be. And I wish, like, Rob played our acoustic show for us back in March, and he came down here and took the train down to Philly and spent the weekend over at my place. And the most interesting conversations took place in my car, and I wish you could hear those conversations.
I'm probably glad we didn't. I don't remember what we were talking about, but I'm sure it was good.
Oh, it was good, and you probably would be in a lot of trouble.
How many times did I say? And this is off the record, by the way. How many times did I say that?
Probably. You know what? I stopped
sure.
paying attention to you off the record because the whole thing I already knew was off the record. In the directions you were going with the conversation, I was like, "There's nothing I could use here." But it was great.
I don't remember exactly, but I'll take your word for it. It sounds like me.
Oh man. So, dude, you're like hard at work. New album. Like, what's going to be out by the end of the year, early next year?
It's actually more. There's like 2 albums and change I got going right now. Eventually, I'm going to get to a point where I'm just going to focus on the 10 that are going to be on this next album, because maybe it sounds a little complicated, but once you're bringing in musicians to you're not just going to bring in a guy to record 1 or 2 songs. You're like, well, if I'm bringing in these guys, I might as well write some more songs and give them something to do all day. So we have like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 songs. So next thing you know, you have between material that hasn't been released before and the ones that you're writing just to make it worth everyone's while to be there, you end up with like 2.5 albums worth of material. So I'm gonna eventually focus on the 10. And when's it gonna come out? I don't know if I'm gonna make it this year, but certainly next year. So I would say the album's called Ferocious. I've revealed what the cover is. I don't know if you saw that, and then I'm gonna put the 10 songs out. Yeah.
So, so you got a lot of work ahead of you. You're gonna wheedle it down. You got 2 albums of music that you got to wheedle down to 1 to 10 songs.
Yeah, and then I'm not gonna discard the ones that don't make the album. Those are gonna be on the next album, and then there's an EP. I'm gonna do a Crazy Rob Carlyle EP of just 3 songs. And then I'll put out another album of about 9 songs, and then I have this one little, like, I guess it's an A-side, B-side, kind of a single thing that's kind of a funny little idea, and we'll put that out. And so, I got enough material in the works to keep me busy and keep me from going too crazy, because I just got to do something, you know what I mean? And then the other big question the number one question I get all the time is, when are you guys going to play out? When are you guys going to go on the road? When are you guys going to come to my town? So I kind of have a lineup now that seems willing to do that. And so, yeah. And so the hope is, I mean, we're very much in the early stages of making this happen, but I'm hoping that like February or March we go out with a proper tour, and we'll, I have a booking agent that's interested in working with us, and that's a first time, and I think we're going to go out with, if it happens, I can't reveal too many details, but it will be like us and this kind of legendary punk rock lady that's been out there that everyone knows. I can't say more than that, but she's definitely someone that everybody knows and loves, and we'd be going out with her for some dates if this goes down. So I'm in like the first few days of discussion on this, so that's about all I could say at the moment. But yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be really cool if we can make this happen.
Yeah, because that was gonna be my next question. Like, and we talked about that. Like, the last album, you had the huge buzz around it. I mean, you had the guys from Guns N' Roses on there, Frank and Fortis. You had Sammy Yaffa on there. You had this amazing album, and then you couldn't like tour behind it because the guys' schedules with their other bands. So you were like kind of left in the wind. And
and that was the second album like that. I mean, there's the first album that they're on pretty much every track, and then there's the album you're talking about, which they're on pretty much every track. And I just, it's like, man, it was like 5, 6, maybe 7 years of waiting for everyone's schedules to line up, and I can't keep doing that. You know what I mean? So I had to figure something else out, and so I've parted ways with those guys, and I'm moving on, and I have a new batch of dudes, and there's a big, there seems to be a lot of excitement about this lineup as well. So yeah, you got to just keep on moving,
Absolutely, and we got to get you back down here to Philly again too.
Yeah, that would be great.
I hear a lobster cheesesteak with your name on it.
What was that?
I hear a lobster cheesesteak with your name on it.
Oh yeah, that was great. And has your bulldog been asking about me?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He just had his nails done. He had a pedicure and manicure recently, and he was asking, "Hey, where's my buddy Rob at?"
Yeah, right.
Oh man. So now I guess you just officially released the music out to Spotify and all that too?
We've been on Spotify for a while. What's the question? I'm sorry.
You just put the music on Spotify?
I think you might be referring to Pandora. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had the first EP from like 8 million years ago on there. It was only 6 songs. It was called Laughter from Below. Everybody loved that when that came out. And then I just submitted the first album called Beat the Devil, and that's on there now. So when you do something, that's like getting to be a good body of work. And I know there's another EP about to hit on there as well, and any day now I'm going to get the email that says it's up. So that'll be a bunch of tracks, and people can tune in. We created this Compulsions radio station on Pandora, which is actually pretty cool. I've been listening to it myself and hearing some stuff that I don't know if you've ever used Pandora before, but I got it set up. I got this Compulsions radio station set up. So if you're a fan of like what we do, and then any kind of blues, blues rock, punk rock, punk/blues rock. So it's everything from the Stones and Led Zeppelin and the Stooges and that kind of stuff, but then more modern stuff like the Kills and Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, and I've heard the White Stripes on there and the Black Keys and stuff, and then of course we're in the middle of all that. So it's this great swirl of like blues-based, punk-based rock and roll, and then some weird stuff comes on there too. Like there's this like one-man band, John Schooley and his one-man band. I never heard that before, and I was like, this is fucking awesome. So so yeah, that's what you're talking about. It's a cool station, if I may say so myself. I highly recommend it.
Cool. Rob, dude, where can everybody go and check out the Compulsion stuff, keep up to date on you, and be ready for that new album?
There's the website, there's the Instagram, Facebook. My personal page I use a lot more than the band page. It seems to get more attention somehow. I don't know, that algorithm they got is just killing me.
Yeah.
And then everything's on Spotify, and like I said, there's Pandora now. So there's a bunch of places for people to get the news and hear the music. So iTunes, of course. stuff like that.
So everybody just needs to go for the Compulsions and Rob Carlyle.
Please do.
Please do. Cool. Rob, dude, thank you so much for doing this. And
yeah, man, congrats on the 250, man.
Thank you, man. And I'll send you over a picture of your long lost bulldog.
Dude, I want a bulldog so bad, man. Yeah, that's gonna happen one of these days. Cool, man. Sounds good.
All right, dude. Take care, homie, and I'll talk to you very soon.
All right, man. Take care of yourself.
All right, later. All right, there goes Rob Carlyle, the Compulsions, and that is a funny story when he came down and spent the weekend when he played the show for me, and my bulldog fell in love with Rob. They bonded over the weekend. It was real nice. So, oh man, take care, Rob.